So without any further ado, let me start the proceedings of the day. Let me first invite Mr. Vansh Oberoi, Managing Partner, VC Grid. So Vansh, so he's been an operator turned VC investor. And I think this is, people like you, we want more and more of them, people who understand both sides of the table. He's a managing partner at VC Grid, as I said, which do early to early growth stage investments. They've deployed about $25 million. He's at the helm of that, making about 27 startup investments. And he's also serves as the CIO at Venture Catalyst. We're all familiar with Venture Catalysts. There's the man, where he has led investments in over 200 plus startups. So Vansh, over to you to set the context for the day and let us know what to expect today and tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, a very warm welcome to everyone. I think always a tough one to take up the next session after all the stalwarts who have already presented. But our team has just put together, a few slides to just warm up the stage even more. Present few stats about this whole asset class that we have been seeing and observing from this side. Diving straight into it, I think what brings all of us together is essentially the past 1 decade. There were a lot of interesting events, and we can break the whole journey of last decade in two phases. One was in 15 to 20, where we saw the whole digital foundation being laid out. Jio set the foundation. We saw the doubling of internet users from 390 million to almost 800 million. We saw the mobile data increasing. The consumption went from 0.15 GB of monthly usage to almost 13 plus GBs of monthly usages. We became the fastest growing smartphone user base. We had an event of demonetization which led the foundation of the entire UPI growth. Between October 19 to October 20, the transactions doubled from 1 billion transactions to 2 billion transactions. As we approached 2020, we became the third largest startup ecosystem. I think we had 40 odd unicorns back then. Then came our next phase, which was the phase of 2020 to 2025. 2025 was a very interesting phase again. I think on one side we had the COVID-led acceleration of adoption. I think we saw e-commerce being adapted, convenience, India starting to pay for convenience. We saw categories like beauty, personal care, fintech investments, health tech investments all growing. On the other hand, I think we started the 2020 to 25 phase, wherein we had a lot of accelerated investing. We broke all records. We did almost 1,600 deals. We added another 50 odd unicorns in the ecosystem. We had 40 odd billion raised. I think towards the end of the phase, we also saw the funding winter, which corrected things by almost 70%. We saw the increased allocation towards scalable companies, revenue generating ideas. We saw the IPOs happening for tech companies, tech startups, and so on and so forth. But what lies next? So I think what the next decade that everyone's been talking of, what we are expecting is an AI and deep tech boom to happen for which India is pretty much at the center of it. We are seeing surge in climate investments. We are seeing digital infra 2.0 being adopted. I think the UPI is going global. The ONDC is set to disrupt the e-commerce. We are seeing shifts of domestic capital getting unlocked. More and more LP domestic capital is getting to the forefront. Family offices are on the rise. In January 2025 alone, India accounted for nearly 10% of the VC transactions that happened. And we've almost surpassed China in our share of the attraction of funding that we're getting for our startups. All of this, as today's theme is enabled by the audience that's present in this room. Today, I think what we see is in the last 6 years, we have seen 6 times growth in the last 13 years in the number of investors or HNIs with more than 100 crore net worth. I think we have to about 3,500 such people today. We have seen the rise of family offices from 45 to 300 plus. We are seeing 40% of the family offices that we are tracking, they've doubled their private investments. Couple of astonishing figures, as per all the reports, there are about 60,000 individuals who are earning more than 5 crores per annum. There are about 30,000 people who are earning more than 10 crores reported incomes per annum. So I think today's day is all about celebrating and bringing these things to the forefront. I think a lot of sessions today, tomorrow are also around how public markets and private markets have all shaped up. I think in this slide we're trying to cover how the benchmarks have stacked against the private investments. If you look at the aggregated AIF benchmarks, private investments have outperformed. They've almost given 21.5% IRR as of March 24. AIFs have consistently outperformed and generated almost 5% plus alpha over BSE Sensex indexes. Within early stage, if you look at it, 27% has been the IRR as compared to the BSE 250 small cap TRI index. In the growth stage funding also, I think the figures are almost 6% better when compared from an IRR standpoint. Of course, March 2022 was one of the best vintages for the AIFs. And interestingly, I think on the last OTC, Cat 1 angel funds have nearly contributed $500 million of investment. More than 4,000 crore of investments have happened just through angel funds, which have pretty much came into forefront in the last 5 years. And I think this is the space that today all of us are trying to celebrate. I'll just summarize with 3 key learnings that we have observed that we would want, and of course, I think throughout the day in the sessions, a lot of these things will be further zoomed in and clicked. But I think patient investing is what I think is one key essential learning that we've all taken up. We've observed that within the first 5 years of investing in startups or alternative assets, you end up getting negative returns. It's the 5 to 10 year that starts showing early signs of positive returns, and the 10 to 15 year is the period where the compounding happens. So I think the first learning is patient investing. Planned diversification mitigates risk, but if you plan the diversification, then that's the time you can maximize the return also. And access is our best leverage through professionals. So I think, as Rajesh ji mentioned, there are more than 100 networks out. There are professional ecosystem today. And I think a lot of investors are leveraging them to unlock accesses. So I end here and welcome once again everyone, and looking forward to the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vansh.